Qigong. What is Qigong? Well, nowadays it is spelled with a Q, Q-I, G-O-N-G, pronounced Qigong, right? Which is the same thing as Qigong. I learned it saying Qigong, so that's why I say Qigong, which is C-H-I, second word K-U-N-G, which means the first part of it is Qi, which is energy. The second part is Kong, and that word Kong refers to, it is the same Kong as in the word Kung Fu, right? In the olden days they referred to it as Kung Fu, now they refer to it as Wushu, right? But Kung Fu doesn't actually refer to martial arts. The Kung part means something achieved through hard work, right? So if you have the word Qi Kong is Qi that is achieved through hard work, right? So there is a, you have to definitely put some time into Qi Kong, right? So that's what the word itself means. So now Qi Kong can be anything from the internal arts, meaning even if you're practicing the Taichi form, the Hsing I 5 elements, the Hsing I 12 animals, any of the Bagua forms, right? Any of these are Qi Kong when you practice them. They are developing Qi, right, as you practice them. And then there are separate Qigong exercises as well, all classified under Qigong, right? The Qigong is like the giant umbrella term that all the internal arts are under, right? There are three main types of Qigong. There is the Taoist Qigong, Buddhist Qigong, and medical Qigong. Okay? And what I do is the Taoist Qigong. Okay, that is what I am most proficient in. So from here I just wanted to go over some basics, right? Some real basics of Qigong. So now again, when you're doing Qigong, you're always relaxed. There's never any part of you that's tense. And we start with what we call the Wu Qi stance. Now, the Wu Qi stance, as you can see, and I can stand this way just so you can see how my spine is straight. I'm talking about having very good posture, okay? You're totally relaxed. Your feet are shoulder width apart, your feet are relaxed, ankles, knees, everything is relaxed all the way up, hips. And then when we get to the spine, again, your spine is like dishes that are stacked one on top of another, all the way up, right? The head itself, right? There is a slight forward movement. I mean, very slight, very slight. Boom. You don't want to do this, right? You just want a very slight movement that connects what we call the Bagua, which is the top of the head, to the spine. It lines it right up with the spine and the Bagua, right? So, there's that with your spine. Now again, there is a fist-length space in your armpits, okay? You don't want to have the arms like this. You don't want to cut off the chi circulation. Also the shoulders. Shoulders have to be very relaxed, okay? If your shoulders are tight, raise them up and let them drop a couple times. So you get used to this before you do your Qigong. If your shoulders are very tight, totally relax, totally relax. The term in Chinese is song, which is for relax. Now, we can't be totally relaxed or we would fall on the ground in a heap, right? So we do have to maintain a level of, I don't want to say tension, but I want to say your skeleton and your tendons are holding you up as opposed to your muscles are holding you up, okay? That's really what the term song means, okay? So we have, so from our Wu Qi stance, right, we're very relaxed all the time, tongue touching the roof of the mouth. That connects the meridians in the center of the body on the front and the back, which are known as the Ren and Du meridians in Chinese, or they are also known as the governing and conceptual meridians in English. They're in the exact center of the front, center of the back. They are connected by the tongue. When you say the letter L, that is the position your tongue should be in, okay? When you're doing Qigong, you're always breathing in and out through the nose, unless you're doing a special type of Qigong where maybe you're using your mouth. There are those, but in the very beginning, basic in and out through the nose, okay? So, the Wu Qi stance, the beginning and end of all things. So basically, the Wu Qi stance is just like this. You're just going to stand here and be very relaxed. In the very beginning, think of nothing, all right? It sounds like it's easy, but it's actually very difficult. So you want to stand here. Generally, if in the very beginning, 5 minutes is a good time period. And then once you get used to practicing Qigong, 15 minutes. You should be able to stand in this stance for about 15 minutes, okay? This is going to build Qi. It's going to improve your structure, right? Also, what's going on when you're doing these Qigong standing meditations is, in the internal arts, you have these microfine muscular connections that are made. Everybody's muscles are connected. But when you practice the internal arts, you're making deeper, finer connections with the muscles, tendons, and bones. Right? That's what we refer to as connections. So when you are doing your standing meditation, connections are being made. Now, obviously, it's not an overnight thing. You do have to practice for an extended period of time. But that's what's going on, is you are making connections in your body. Okay, because in the internal arts, our bodies move as one piece. So to get there, we have to start connecting things. Now, we don't consciously do it. When we're standing in Wu Chi, we're not thinking about making these connections. They just happen. Okay? So this is the Wu Chi stance, which is the first yin stance, right? And you can see the fingers are down. It's very common for your hands or feet to feel hot, to feel cold, to feel tingly, right? These are all common sensations. And also, if you're not used to standing, even though it looks like I'm not doing anything, right, which I'm really not, but there's a lot of work going on, your legs may shake, right? They call that fire in the legs. Right? Your legs could possibly shake almost like this. And again, that's normal. It will get to a point where that stops. The shaking is the chi trying to get through, okay? And perhaps the meridians or the pathways are not open or large enough yet, so you can imagine, you know, a basketball trying to go through a garden hose, right? That's kind of the same thing until they open up, right? And the practice of Qigong is going to open up those meridians so that, you know, it's not going to be a basketball through a fire hose, or, you know, through a garden hose. It'll be the proper size. It'll flow naturally. But again, you may get some shakes. You may get some hot, cold feelings. You'll definitely sweat, right? These are all common side effects that are not anything to worry about when you do Qigong. Okay, they're part of the process. So another thing I want to talk about is the saliva itself. In Taoist Qigong, the saliva is known as the golden elixir. Okay, the golden elixir is swallowed to your lower dantian. Okay, your own saliva, right, kind of in Taoist thought contains what you need for qi production, right? So when you're standing in standing meditation, your tongue is touching the roof of the mouth. Another reason your tongue touches, besides the connection, is that it starts to form saliva. So you're going to swallow all of the saliva down into the lower dantian. You imagine it going in and forming a ball in the lower dantian, okay, filled with qi, or made of qi. So you feel the golden elixir go down and you swallow it. So anytime throughout a Qigong practice, if maybe you're in the middle of it or something, you have a lot of saliva, swallow it down, boom, all the way down. That's only going to help you in your Qigong practice, okay? So that's the golden elixir. Now, from the, you also have the Yang stance, which is called embracing the tree. So from the Wu Chi stance, if I was to change into the embracing the tree stance, my hands are going to move upward very, very slowly, like a puppet on a string. Okay? And again, we're going as slow as we can. We're just using the bones and the tendons. We're not using any muscles. We get to about our shoulder level, our hands are going to turn out. The fingers are separated, okay? And the hands are slightly turning forward. If I were to turn my hand this way, you see it slightly goes like that, right? So when you see it like this, it's okay like this, but now I want you to turn it even more like this, right? So that, again, it give you a side view. If my hand was here, I want it to go just like that a little bit, okay? Just like that. So we're here. This is embracing the tree. You imagine putting your arms around a tree, right? This is the embracing the tree posture. This is the yang partner to the yin Wu Chi stance, okay? So again, everything else still applies. Shoulders relaxed. This one, you will feel the shoulders burn more. If you're holding this for 15 minutes, you will feel a burn, okay? But again, always stay relaxed. Work through that burn, work through all that pain, and eventually you'll get to a spot where you'll just be totally relaxed, okay? So this is the embracing the tree, or the Yang Qigong, standing Qigong posture. Again, connections are being formed, you're building qi. Very, very good posture. And when you breathe, you want to breathe very deep, all the way to your lower dantian, right? Our lungs extend all the way down our torsos, right? Generally, people in normal life only use about half the capacity of their lungs. So in Qigong, we want to breathe very, very deep. We want to fill up those lungs with oxygen, which then gets into our blood, right? Which then we have more oxygen in our blood. It's all good. It's all good. A lot of health problems can be alleviated from just deep breathing, okay? So keep that in mind. One way to think about it is you can expand. When you inhale, you expand your belly or you expand your belt, right? And when you exhale, you contract, all right? So that's a very basic one, right? There's different types of breathing, but that's what we call natural breathing, okay? So we're just going to focus on that when you're doing your Wu Chi or your embracing the tree postures. And then, so you would end with Wu Chi. So for instance, this was an introduction to the postures and whatnot, but let's say if you wanted to do your own practice, you would start out in Wu Qi. Hold this for a couple of minutes, right? And whenever you feel that you want to change into the embracing the tree posture, you would change. And hold this for a couple minutes while you breathe. And then when you feel that you're almost done, you return to the Wu Qi posture. Your hands are going to float down very, very gently. Very, very gently floating down to the Wu Qi posture. And now you're going to hold this for a couple of minutes. And that is the introduction to the Taoist Qigong with your two beginning standing meditation postures. So the Wu Qi and embracing the tree posture. Okay, thank you.